In this example, we will be explaining how to run multiple levels of projects at one time in simulation and how to get multiple levels of BlackBox, WhiteBox, terminology, and blocks all to work and play together in simulation. So our teaser here is that we can run this top level box in simulation and it will be able to add up all the mass values of all the subsystems and the components beneath them and roll it all up into a total mass value. And this works by passing through all of these black boxes right here. And then you also have the ability to toggle if you'd rather look at the black box versus the white box. So we'll get to that. So before we get started with the simulation, we'll explain the WhiteBox BlackBox approach and breakdown and project structure. Anytime you see black box, it means that you're not going to have any part properties beneath it. So if you find it in the containment tree, it's not going to have any part properties. It basically means opaque box, and you can't see the part properties or subcomponents within it. The white box is the exact opposite. If you look inside of that, you're always going to have part properties that are going to be built or are already built underneath it. It's a transparent box, and you can actually look and decompose it and understand how things flow within that context. In this case, it's the system. So the levels are referring to different levels of the system of interest itself. So level 1 would be talking about the system level, level 2 would be talking about the subsystem levels, and level 3 would be talking about the component level. And then level 0 would be talking about how the system connects to other external systems. So each level has two main components, a black box block and a white box block. And the white box block is always going to have the generalization relationship to the black box block. The projects, on the other hand, that you see in blue right here is going to be talking about the scope of a specific team. So project A context would be responsible, like team A would be responsible for this project. And you can actually see that in the containment tree here. Project A context. This team would be responsible for this model and all of these packages within it, which in this case would include the system context white box and the system black box and the external system black box. They are responsible for adding these directed composition relationships between the system context and the system black box and the external system black box. So now we'll look at the project B1 context, which is the system of interest. And this team is going to have to integrate or communicate with this upper level project A context team, as well as the lower levels project C1, project C2, and project C3 context teams. So these would typically be your suppliers of your subsystems, which would have all the information about that subsystem and the components within that subsystem. They're making it for you, and then they're going to provide that to you, and as well as the model, and then you would go ahead and put that in there right there. Now what's interesting is that the project B1 team does not have to interface with the project B2 team, because that's not really the project B1 team's job. That's actually project A context team's job. Project A context talks with project B1 and with project B2. Just to reiterate, the project B1 team is responsible for adding the composition relationships that you see within the system white box right there. So they are adding these part properties right here. They are also worried about the subsystem level requirements that they need to flow downstream to the suppliers of the subsystem. So let's go ahead and run the system white box in simulation. You can see that there's no value properties or any parametrics behind the scenes yet, so there's no value properties that you see here. But thing to note is that you're seeing black boxes, these right here. And so what you can do is you can remove that value and then it's empty, and then you can add a value, and you have two options. You can either pick the black box or the white box. So I'll pick the white box. So now I'm running it. Actually, I'm running this system right now with the subsystem A white box, and then the subsystem B black box, and the subsystem C black box. So I can actually change all these to the WhiteBox values. So now we are running the system WhiteBox with the subsystem WhiteBoxes, which is eventually what we want to do. The next step would be defaulting it to go ahead and run the system with the white boxes instead of the black boxes. So the way to do that is you can just select all the black boxes here, and then you would go to your element and then go to is abstract, and you set that to true. You'll see all this turn into italics, and what that means is you no longer can run that block in simulation. If it's set to false, you can run that block in simulation. You set it to true, and now it's just going to be a pass-through. So if I run this, you automatically see all of the values here as white box values. If I remove these values and add it back, there's not any other options to actually select that black box. The black box is a pass-through, which is great. Now that we understand the framework, we're going to go ahead and add value properties to all the blocks. We're just going to add mass value properties. So I'll just find this here, and there's many different ways to do this, but to keep it as simple as possible, we're just going to copy paste the mass value property into all of the boxes. Now that we got those mass values in there, we're going to create a parametric diagram by right-clicking, create diagram, parametric diagram. And we'll just go ahead and add all these things. And we'll notice that we have two mass values. We actually inherit a mass value. We inherit this mass value right here from up here. So if I change this to like system mass so that we understand the difference, and we look in here, you see that we're inheriting system mass from the block up here. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a parametric that basically adds up all of these, all the subsystems, and then puts it in the mass value. But we want this system mass and the mass to be the same thing, and so it doesn't happen automatically. Another location you can see this is if you just go into spec window, go to properties, you can see that the sys mass is inherited while this mass was created by me, and you watch me create it. So you want these to be the same. So the way to do that is you can go into this mass value, and then you can just redefine it. So just type redefine property, and now you can just search for that sys mass that we're trying to redefine it as. Click OK there. It says redefine sys mass, which is redefining this. So now if I go into the spec window again, you only see mass one time. Additionally, if you go into the parametric, it still shows these two, but if I delete it and then go to display value properties, now you only see one. So that's very important to be able to roll things up, is to make sure that this value property and this value property are the same and you aren't repeating them as we had before. So the next step is to create a constraint. We'll make a package and just call it constraints within the project B1 system, and we'll add that constraint, and we'll just call it sum, and then we'll add this sum to the white box here, and then just give it a name. And now we can right click, display constraint property. So we need to go ahead and add an equation there. So we'll go to constraints, specification, and we'll just say that the total equals the sum of the children, or just child. Close, and we'll just hit this magical button, which is parse and create parameters. And what that did is it made the total and the child right there. And then we'll show the parameters by clicking that other button. So, and then we have multiple children, so we need to change this multiplicity to many, and now we should be good to go. So I'm going to start connecting the children to these subsystems, and I created the total to this mass value. So, and I'll just reformat it so that it looks prettier. So now it should work, and let's go back and run this system WhiteBox. Make sure that it works. So I'll add values in here. Doesn't look like it worked. So the deal is I need to change this sum from a capital S to a little s, because that's not the actual equation. It needs to be small. Close. And we'll just go ahead and rerun it again. And put 10 in, and there we go. It's working. There we go. So the next thing to do is to, just like we did here where we redefined sysmass, we're going to redefine these mass values by these mass values. So I'll go ahead and do that. That's just so that we make sure that we don't have duplicate value properties. So right now I'm just adding just some text so it's super easy for me to find. Go click here, redefine property, and I'll just do AA mass, found it. Now I'll just do the same thing. Now let's go ahead and add actual mass values for each of these. So let's say that subsystem A is 10 pounds, and subsystem B is going to be, let's just say 30 pounds. And subsystem C is going to be 40 pounds. So now if I run this with these as not abstract, it's just going to run these automatically. So, and I'll just show you that. So it shows 0 because they're all using the black boxes, and none of these are filled in with numbers. If I remove the value, add the value with the white box, now you see 10 because it added that value that we had right there. So what we can do is we can just get these and is abstract, make it true, and now it's the pass-through situation. So now when I run this, it's going to use 10, 30, and 40. So run, and you see it automatically pulls that 80 value, which is adding them up. 10 plus 40 plus 30, 80. And you can look at the value properties there, and you see it pulled the white boxes. So I can scale this method up and down the tree by creating parametric diagrams here, which will look down at the component level and then roll up that mass value, which rolls it up to here and then rolls it up one more. Additionally, what you can do is, let's say you are a team member of the Project B1 team, and let's say that you have Subsystem B and Subsystem C's model, and you've got them connected and everything's working, but there's an issue with Subsystem A. They're like running behind. Instead of having their model connected, you don't have it connected yet, so what you can do is you can create this as not abstract, or is abstract set to false, and then you can add in whatever value that you are suspecting is going to be its value right there. And so when I run this, it's going to pull this subsystem A black box, because you're not actually using this model yet, and then it's going to pull this one and this one, subsystem B white box and subsystem C white box, because there's no issue with these models. And again, like, this is another project team, so I guess what I'm saying is that you don't have to integrate all of the subsystems at once. It's very easy to toggle which subsystems you want to jump into their white boxes and which subsystems you just want to stay at the black box level. So for this example, we were just looking at the black box, or just the guesstimate for subsystem A, but then we looked at the actual values for subsystem B and C. And as we went forward, we would probably want to connect to the actual white box, and then all we would do here is just change that to that, and then rerun the white box. And you see that it changes back to 80, 10 plus 30 plus 40. So the only thing left to do is to scale the constraints. So we already showed how to do the system level constraints. So I went ahead and added the same summation constraint to the subsystem C as well as the top level system context white box. And once I did that, I am able to run the top level block, and it will allow me to pull values all the way from this project C context level all the way up the tree to the very top. You will only be making the black box blocks abstract. You're never going to make a white box block is abstract, because your black box is always going to be your pass-through. Your white box will never be your pass-through. Your white box is a more detailed or higher fidelity model or block or context than your black box.